Easter egg hunt packed with unique and fun prizes for kids. Plus, score an exclusive Phoenix Rising Croc Charm free at the gate while supplies last. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Big stakes, bigger rivalry. Be there.
Celebrate spring special moments with the finest from AJ's. Slice into premium meats and chef-crafted feasts for your holiday gatherings. Restock your bar with elegant rosés and more refreshing wines from our expertly curated selection. Sweeten every celebration with spring-inspired desserts and brighten anyone's day with fresh blooms and floral arrangements. Visit us in store or order gifts, flowers, and more online at catering.ajsfinefoods.com. Only at AJ's.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Colina. We've purchased 2 Fulton homes in the last 7 years. We would never buy anywhere but Fulton homes.
We actually tried other builders, looked at them, and nothing compares to Fulton quality. We're repeat builders with Fulton. It's been an amazing process, and we would never go anywhere else after experiencing it. The process working with the Fulton team was great. They cared. We got updates, and you could just tell how much they were excited, almost as much as we are. Fulton is so good at the homes they build. The quality you get is just really unmatched. They continue to care about us as a client, even though we've now finished the sale. I admired their communities because they were always a step above. The amount of landscaping, the way it was always groomed. They add the features that you want to be outside, you want to be in the community. And that matters to us. We want to be outside, not just in the home. And all the amenities are just amazing. We would buy Fulton Homes again in a heartbeat. I don't think we'd consider anybody else.
Fulton Homes. You're proud to own, we're proud to build.
In one corner, a tasty sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. That sweet griddle cakes and savory sausage powerhouse. In the other corner, a warm sausage McMuffin with egg, toasted to perfection and stacked with melty goodness. 2 breakfast icons ready to battle it out for your taste buds. Except, why choose? Get both when you mix and match 2 for $5 at McDonald's. Yeah, that's the move for the win. And don't forget to order ahead in the app. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
At Scottsdale Mitsubishi, you can lease a brand new 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander for 0 down, 0 security deposit, and 0 first month's payment and 0 do-it signing.
The name to remember? Scottsdale Mitsubishi? Scottsdale Mitsubishi, another Mark Auto Group dealership.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
The Diamondbacks continue their road trip in just a little bit, and the Phoenix Suns look for their new identity. Welcome into the Friday edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Streaming on the KDUS AM 1060 app, and you can watch us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Glad that you're here on the Friday edition of the program. Chris Schubert, producer Evan behind the glass. We've got you for the next 2 hours here on the lunch break. How are you on this Friday morning, producer Evan? We doing well today? We excited that it is a Friday?
Lovely. Happy Friday, everybody. Got the D-back starting here in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you were scrambling pre-show. I saw you out of the corner of my eye scrambling to find the television remote for your studio.
Yes.
So that you could turn the game on.
Could not find it.
Could not find it. Have you found it?
Yes.
Not working, though.
Not working.
So I'm going to have to help you during the break. You don't know how to work the TV.
Yes, I don't know how to work this TV.
You're only on your second, third week here. We got some jitters we have to work out. You'll be there soon enough, and you'll know how to work everything in the building. We've got a lot of Suns basketball still reacting to what we heard yesterday from the owner of the Phoenix Suns, Mat Ishbia, and this new direction that this team is going to try to go in this offseason. And it was something very particular that Mat Ishbia said yesterday that stands out, and it's where we'll start today's program.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
The owner of the Suns yesterday made it very clear. This organization over the summer, in everything that they do, hiring their next head coach, whatever they decide to do with their front office, whatever they decide to do with Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, how they attack free agency, how they attack the draft, this entire summer is going to be about one word: identity. The Phoenix Suns are going to be looking for a brand new identity. The last identity did not lead to anything. I wondered if they actually had an identity other than, hey, we have Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, and you don't. I think that's the only identity that the last iteration of the Phoenix Suns had, and that identity got them nowhere. Didn't get them an NBA championship, didn't even get them an NBA Finals appearance. One series win during this iteration of the Suns, a sweep, and then missing the playoffs this year and only winning 36 games. So it is a large task that the Suns are going to undertake, finding a new identity. So what does that look like? What benchmarks do we want this new identity to look like? And when we say identity, there's just a feel that you get. When you watch this team play, there's a certain feeling that it invokes. You watch the team, you're proud of the team, and you know when you show up to PHX Arena or when the Suns are on the road and you're watching on TV or listening on radio that you know what to expect with the Phoenix Suns. How often this year did we not know night to night which version of the Suns would show up? How many times did we question, are they going to put it all together? Are they going to have a better defensive intensity tonight? Are they going to limit the turnovers? Are they going to be able to keep the game close? Roller coaster ride all season long, trying to figure out what version of this team was going to show up. One of the things they are going to try to do this summer is make sure that you know what's going to show up every single night when the Suns play basketball. Is it going to mean that they're going to go from 36 wins to 45, 50 wins overnight? No, that is not what it means. This is going to take some time. There's going to be a little pain involved with all of this. This is probably a 3-year process, best case scenario. Best case scenario, 3 years from now, I think we have a team that we're talking about April of 2028. We're talking about a basketball team that isn't having their exit interview yet, that isn't firing another head coach, that isn't trying to figure out which star players to keep and which star players to move on from. I think 3 years from now, we're having a conversation about a basketball team that's still playing. Playoff series are going to get started here pretty soon. The play-in tournament's underway. I think 3 years from now is a very fair goal to say, hey, this team should be in the playoffs 3 years from now. I think that's incredibly fair. But the journey that we're going to take over these next 3 years, and it's going to start this offseason, is about finding an identity. And so I wanted to start today's show by trying to put those pieces of the puzzle together, throwing out some things that I want the next Suns team to have. Producer Evan can make some suggestions. You're always welcome to make suggestions at 480-864-1060 or on the YouTube live stream chat. What do you want this team to look like? I know that the bare minimum is, could we play a little bit better basketball than we played last year? But that's not tangible. Those aren't characteristics of a basketball team. And identity is a nice buzzword to throw out there, but what does this team have to have identity-wise? That is what I want to try to at least start to tackle today.
When you look at their identity, for me, I want a more intense identity. And I'm this name's going to make you laugh because of everything that's going on, but a guy who plays like a Drew Holiday.
You know what? Out of all the names to invoke, I'm not sure Drew Holiday was the best one to invoke. You may make Bradley Beal upset by doing that, but I understand your point. You want guys that you know
are Marcus Smart, even though I can't stand it, but I need somebody like that that's going to pick up the energy when it's down.
Dylan Brooks
play
for Houston.
hard defense. Yeah, play hard defense, something like that. They just don't have anybody in the building right now that does that.
You need to have one guy, and this is part of the identity, but you need one guy who you know that if blank hits the fan, that guy's going to be right in the middle of the skirmish fighting for the Phoenix Suns. You need a guy,
a tone setter. Anything, an energy bringer, whatever you want to call it, and they don't have one right now. When things start to go south on them, they fold. They don't really have any fight back, and so they need somebody that can pick up a bench right now.
I want a team, pick a middle-of-the-road NFL team. I'm not talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not talking about the Baltimore Ravens or the Buffalo Bills. I'm not talking about a top-tier team or a team that's going to be picking inside the top 5 a week from yesterday. But think about a middle-of-the-road NFL team that if you saw them on your schedule, you would go, oh, we got to play them. Oh, a college program. You draw the SEC Big 12. You draw a certain program and you know, man, they're it's going to be a grind for 60 minutes. Like, it's going to be a grind for 4 quarters. This is going to take everything to win this football game. That's what I want the Phoenix Suns to be. I want the Phoenix Suns to be a team that is going to wear you down. They're going to wear you down. They're going to make you earn everything. Last year, teams were able to, at will, score a ton of points. Last year, teams were able to go wild on the Phoenix Suns. Why? Because the Suns just let them have it. The next version of the Phoenix Suns, their identity, nothing's easy. Nothing is easy for the Phoenix Suns. There is no cakewalk when you play Phoenix on your schedule over the next couple of years. Now, do you immediately do that overnight? Again, no, this is a 3-year process, but you got to start somewhere, because I don't think right now on this roster, you have anybody that's going to make it difficult on the opposition in the way that we're talking about. So you got to have some toughness. You have to wear teams down. You got to lean on them. How do you lean on them? You have a lot of youth. You have a lot of athleticism. You are a more modern NBA basketball team that is just able to withstand whatever other teams want to throw at you. If other teams want to play up and down the floor and they want to play a track meet, you're right there with them. You're keeping pace. If teams want to slow it down and they want to grind out every possession and they want to make it difficult, we're right there. We are in the weeds with you. You want a team that no matter what the opposition does well, we're going to be right there with you, and we're going to make that thing difficult. You want to play a defensive grinded out game? Oh, be my guest. I'll be there, right? I'll grind it out with the best of them. You want to go up and down the floor and you want to be young and athletic and take shots and throw up a bunch of 3-pointers and get out in fast break? I'll be right there with you. We'll be throwing the ball up and down the floor just as quickly as you are. You got to be versatile. You have to be adaptable. The Phoenix Suns last year were not adaptable. They played the way that they played. If it worked and they won, great. If it wasn't working, you knew what the result was going to be. There weren't any adjustments. There wasn't any ability to adapt on the fly. And guess what? That is player related. That is coach related. That is scouting related. That is player development related. It runs the gambit of all of these different areas of where the Suns need to change their identity. And their identity is, we want to be a tough out for somebody. Like what Mat Ishbia said while the season was still, I guess, hanging in the balance. He said, if we get in, we're a tough out for people. We're a tough out for another team. We didn't really buy that. We didn't really believe that. I want that to be the mantra. We're a tough out. You draw us on a Tuesday. I don't care that it's the second night of the back-to-back for us. We are right there in the weeds, grinding it out with you. Got to have that grit. Got to have that extra determination. You have to be able to fight fire with fire. Whatever another team wants to do, we are going to be right there with you, because we've got guys that are versatile, that are adaptable, that are coachable, and we are able to move the chess pieces around on the chessboard. We are able to just adapt and mold and twist ourselves into whatever we need to be on a given night to win basketball games. And sometimes in the early goings, it's still not going to be good enough. You're going to have that new vision. You're going to play a style that's adaptable, that you can make those tweaks. And there are going to be nights where another team is going to be better than you. They're going to have more talent than you. But that's okay. I don't want to watch a team that gives up and clearly gives up. I don't want to watch a team that over and over and over again digs themselves 15, 20, 25-point deficits and has to try to crawl out of those holes. I am tired of watching that. It's not fun. It's not exciting. It's not enjoyable. It is a waste of time. I want most of the time when the fourth quarter rolls around, the Suns are in it. You know that this is going to come down to the final couple of possessions. That is what I want out of this basketball team.
To Mat Ishbia's credit yesterday, two of the things that you said, kind of he brought up. And when you talked about and referenced a middle-of-the-line NFL team that 60 minutes, man, we got to go. Isn't that the Pittsburgh Steelers? And hasn't that been for a decade?
It is the perfect example. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they don't wow you. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're always just kind of there and in the playoffs. And you know that if you draw them in November and December, you're like, oh, I got to go to Pittsburgh. It's going to be cold. It might rain.
They're going to give me 60 minutes of everything they have.
Every play, their defensive line is just massive. It's just going to be a war. It's just going to be a battle for 60 minutes.
And they may not score more than 10 points,
no,
but it's going to be a battle.
But the fourth quarter is going to roll around, and somehow the Steelers are going to have the ball with a chance to win the game. That's what we want the Suns to be. Mat Ishbia, that's what he was hinting at when he said the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Michigan State Spartans, that you just know what you're going to get. You know what they are. And the extension of that is we're going to make it difficult for you. We're going to be adaptable. We're going to be young. We're going to be athletic. We're going to be versatile. Guys can play different positions. They can match up with whoever. You want to play a bunch of pick and roll stuff and switch. We're going to be able to pick that stuff up. We're going to be able to stay with your superstars. We're going to be able to make it difficult. That is what this team needs to strive for. And it is going to be a slow burn because guess what? As much as I love Devin Booker, as much as I love some of the pieces that they have, Ryan Dunn, Oso Ighodaro, I don't know if they have a collective group of guys that check those boxes. And so you are not going to be able in one offseason to get a brand new roster that all the way fits that mold. But you know what? The main thing I would focus on this offseason is I'd get one veteran. I'd have a bunch of young guys, but I would use one of my vet min contracts this summer on just a journeyman who's been around, played on a bunch of different teams, has playoff experience, and you just know is going to be in the middle of any type of nonsense.
Knows what a winning locker room is.
Is going to be face-to-face, nose-to-nose with the agitator on the other team and says, bring it. Give me your best shot. You need one guy like that because guess what? You have a bunch of young players that are going to look to Devin Booker, that are going to be look to that one veteran that I'm talking about. That is going to be infectious. The Suns didn't have that guy this year. That is what they need to strive for if they are going to get this identity going in the right direction. Want to hear from you on this? 480-864-1060. That is one way for you to join us here. Also have you on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream where Michael is checking in. I think he's still on the beach. And he checked in earlier in the week and he was having adult beverages. He just said beverages on the beach.
He did say beverages.
I put the two and two together and said, I assume that the only thing
I was guessing
doing, right,
a fruity adult beverage.
Yes, assumption on our part. But guess what? If I was on the beach at 11:16 or whatever time it is for Michael, that's what I would be doing. It would
something
be
tropical, maybe.
Yes, it would be something tropical. It would have a little umbrella in it. And I would be sitting there enjoying the rays of sunshine. So, again, an assumption on our part, but I think that's what Michael's up to. So I want to hear from you on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, 5 in a row, 7 of their last 8, yet they are still in 4th place. Are the Diamondbacks going to be able to keep pace? That's next on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alessio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS 1060 app.
Phoenix, are you ready to ascend? Bring me the horizon. USA Ascension Program Part 1.
Every sky will build, my friend.
Taking over Footprint Center, October 2nd, with special guest
Crawling from hell.
Motionless in White, The Plot in You, and Amira El Fiki. On sale now at livenation.com. Bring me the horizon. Presented by the Big Red Radio.
This next song goes out to Cox Mobile for letting me video call my dog while we're on tour.
From San Diego to Boston, I said hi. You started barking. Cox Mobile's got the bars to keep us both howling.
We run on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability. So whether you're at a concert or on the road, you'll stay connected. Visit cox.com/mobile. Cox Internet required. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability per Ookla US 2H 2024. Other restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Ink card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Ink Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
At Shane Company, we know getting engaged is a big decision. But once you know, you know. That's the way our customers feel when they choose a Shane Company engagement ring. They walk into a warm welcome and walk out with their dream ring, knowing they got it right. For almost 100 years, we've been offering personalized shopping experiences. And we're in it way past the honeymoon, with a free lifetime warranty that includes the center stone, cleanings, repairs, and resizing for life. Shop with us at shaneco.com or at your neighborhood store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Given how hard I've gone on the Dallas Mavericks for trading Luka Doncic, it's only fair to give credit where credit is due. The Mavs picked a great time to play a great game. I'm talking about that beatdown they put on Sacramento in their own house last night in the play-in game. They lived to fight another day and to get the entire planet off of Nico Harrison's back for at least one day. And the guy Nico traded Luka for, Anthony Davis, had everything to do with it, going off for 27-9. Now, don't get it twisted. It's still the worst trade ever. Let's not act like the Mavs just won an NBA championship, something they actually nearly did with Luka. But nice to see AD jump out of his street clothes and contribute to the cause. As for Sacramento, how do you completely no-show in a play-in game in your own building? If you're going to do that, why do you even have that beam? It's not like you have any reason to ever light it. I'm Jim Rome.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Welcome back into the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. If you're listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app, listen for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the Atlanta Braves on Saturday, April 26th at Chase Field. You're going to want to get to the game early to get a Diamondbacks replica jersey, courtesy of Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. That'll go to the first 25,000 fans at the game. You can get your tickets at dbacks.com/SGT. The Diamondbacks game underway. Don't worry, everybody. I know everybody was concerned during the break. We got the TV situation all figured out for producer Evan, so he has the game on. He can keep tabs on anything notable for the Diamondbacks for us. And it is weird to talk about a team and mention what they did yesterday and what they've been doing while they are playing, but I think everybody will be okay. I think we can survive this together.
Crazy that it's 2 days in a row, though, they're going to play during our show. Well, that probably will never happen. It's just because you play the Cubs at Wrigley.
Well, you're on a bit of an East Coast swing, right? So you're not here. And you played dead away baseball yesterday against Miami, and then you play a nice mid-afternoon game in Wrigley Field. Yeah, there may be a couple of times throughout the year where this happens, but very rare where we'll get back-to-back games like this. But the Diamondbacks playing their best baseball right now. 5 in a row, 7 of their last 8, playing really good baseball. Paul, I'm sorry if you're out there and you don't like me giving praise to the Diamondbacks, but 5 in a row, 7 in the last 8. I hope it's okay that we speak in actualities and just read the situation for what it is. But that's where we're at. 5 in a row, 7 of the last 8. They've got Corbin Burns on the mound today. And yet, if you look at the standings in the National League West, it tells a very interesting picture because there they are playing their best baseball of the season, and they are still in 4th place. The Dodgers, excellent to start the season. The Padres, excellent to start the season. I think the surprise to everybody would be how hot the Giants have been. I think we warned you during the winter with the moves that they made that this is a 4-team race. So you got 4 teams that are actively going for it in the National League West. And then there's the Colorado Rockies just doing whatever they're doing. I mean, they're just brutal. I think they're 3-15.
You and I have talked about it in a couple morning meetings. They may be the worst team I've ever seen.
The Colorado Rockies come up in a morning meeting just when we dunk on them, when we clown on them for just being bad. And it happens pretty regularly because we're just looking
at least twice a week.
Yeah, we're looking at the standings, and it's just a constant reminder of, man, this team is just not very good. So you got 4 teams, Dodgers, Padres, Giants, and the Diamondbacks, all going for it, spending big money. Diamondbacks' biggest contract in free agency history, they gave out to Corbin Burns. The Giants, years and years of missing on guys. What do they do this offseason? Willy Adames, Justin Verlander. The Dodgers, I don't think I need to tell you what the Dodgers have been doing over the last couple of years in terms of spending money. And the Padres, while maybe not spending a ton of money this offseason, they've been doing a lot of work the last couple of years. They've got Manny Machado. They've got Fernando Tatis. They've got Jackson Merrill. They've got some young players to build around. They're a team that isn't going anywhere anytime soon. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. We told you this was not going to be easy, that if you were going to make the playoffs out of the National League West and not win the division, you were going to earn it. You were going to earn it. Now, I just think if you look at these 4 teams, I don't think they're going to all keep these paces up. I don't think we're going to watch all of these teams. The Diamondbacks are on like a 95, 96 win pace. I don't think they're going to win 95 and 96 games and finish in 4th in the division. I think if they actually got to 95 or 96 wins, it's going to be good enough for, I think, worst case scenario, 2nd place. But you can't ignore what the other teams in the division are doing, just like you can't ignore what the Diamondbacks are doing. And here is why I think they are going to be able to keep pace and at some point leave some of these other teams in the dust. Are the Giants going to be able to do this? Are the Padres going to be able to, after not making any moves really of note in the offseason, are they going to be able to keep pace with the Dodgers and Diamondbacks who have been spending money over the last couple of seasons? The reason why I think the Diamondbacks are going to be able to separate themselves a little bit is their starting pitching is started to turn a major corner. They had, going into the final 2 games of the Miami series, 6 straight starters with a quality start. So a 6-game streak of quality starts from the pitcher. That was somewhat broken up. Brandon Pfaadt went 5 2/3 and only allowed a hit. I know technically in the box score, it's not a quality start. You would take that performance, that line from Brandon Pfaadt any day of the week, twice on Sunday. You take it. You put it in your back pocket and say, thank you very much. Can I have another? Eduardo Rodriguez, I know he gave up 10 hits yesterday. I know that it's kind of a battle at times with the contact that he's given up. Still struck out 9, only gave up 1 earned run in his 5+ innings of work. You'll take that. You've got Corbin Burns going on the mound today. Then it's going to be Zach Gallen, and then it's going to be Merrill Kelly, and it just keeps turning on itself. In football, right? You want to go on the road and win in the postseason? What do they say? You got to have a running game. You got to have a defense. Those are the great equalizers to go on the road and win in the postseason. Do you know what the great equalizer is in baseball? You want me to take you seriously? You want to be a team that can compete for a division, can compete for a wild card spot, can be picked as a team that's going to go far in the postseason? You got to have the quality pitching. You have to have a bullpen that you believe in. You have to have a shutdown guy or 2 down there that you can turn to any moment in a postseason game. You got to have at least 3 starters, probably 4 starters, if you want to make a deep run in the postseason. You know what the Diamondbacks have? 4 starters that I would trust right now to start a postseason game. Anybody not trusting Zach Gallen to start a postseason game right now? Anybody not trusting Corbin Burns after his last start out to not start a postseason game? These are the guys that this team is built around. And it is the one thing that is mostly sustainable. Offenses are going to go hot and cold. Some guys are going to heat up. Some guys are going to cool down. Is Corbin Carroll going to hit over 300 the entire rest of the season? He could. I don't think he's going to. I think there's going to be some type of cold streak. Is Pavin Smith going to hit over 400 all season? Conventional wisdom says no, to bet against that happening. So when they go cold, what is the thing that allows you to keep pace with the Dodgers, to keep pace with the Giants, the Padres, and maybe separate yourself a little bit? Good quality starting pitching. And we knew at the beginning of the season that was the thing that the Diamondbacks had, and they had it going away. And so I'm not surprised that 5 in a row, 7 of their last 8, directly matches up with the time period where their starting pitching has started to blossom.
And we talk about the bullpen and how good they've been. Outs 18 through 27 are some of the most important outs in the playoffs. And they, right now, I just trust Martinez for 3. And Puck has been pretty good recently, and I trust him. Listen, he gave up the leadoff double, and
Yeah, he's giving
things kind of happen.
That home run against New York made us nervous a little bit. The leadoff double yesterday. I mean, it's not.
But
it's
those
not clean,
home runs
but you're
don't
fine.
get out in most ballparks.
Yeah.
In most ballparks in the National League. And so, like you said, it's not clean, but I don't need it to be clean if they win the game. So here's my thought. I just think this team, with the pitching they have, will keep pace, but then are set up better than some of the other teams in the National League West for a deeper playoff run. In a 5-game series, give me the D-backs over San Diego.
And that's why what they're doing is sustainable. That's why. Now, are they going to win 5 in a row over and over and over again and then have a small blip and start up a new 5-game winning streak? No, but the reason why I'm not getting worried that they're in 4th place in the National League West is they have the staying power. They have the thing that makes me think that they can last with everybody else. This is, like we said all winter, a 12-round championship fight. This is a boxing match. You have to get to rounds 10, 11, and 12. You have to get to the championship rounds, and you got to have some juice left in the tank. The Diamondbacks, I think, will have that. Why? Because they have the starting pitching. They have the depth with their starting pitching. They have 2 aces in Gallen and Burns. They have what would be a very underrated number 3 pitcher in Merrill Kelly. Brennan Fott's been good to start the year. Eduardo Rodriguez. I don't love the 10 hits, but I'll take starts where he only gives up 1 earned run, 3 runs overall. You'll take those any day of the week. So as long as they continue to get this pitching, which is their strength, then I think they're going to be fine. And soon enough, they'll pass the Giants. They'll pass the Padres, and I think they'll be comfortably in that 2 spot, battling it out with the Dodgers for the 1 spot, which is what we have thought this was going to look like all along. Coming up on the other side of the break, there are more changes coming for the Phoenix Suns. What might those changes be? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Phoenix. Footprint Center, Saturday, August 2nd. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. It's about to get heavy. Shinedown. Live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
Picture this. Picture your favorite DQ treat. Is it a blizzard treat? Maybe a cone? Are you feeling a shake? Could be a dilly bar kind of day. Or a peanut buster parfait. I'll wait for you to pick. Okay, now picture your favorite treat right where it belongs. In your hand. Or your car cup holder. Your bike basket. Or your special treat fanny pack. Wherever it is, stop picturing it and get your real hands on a real DQ treat today. Only a DQ. Happy tastes good.
Struggling to pay your energy bill? At SRP, we're here to help. Whether you need immediate financial support or tips to lower energy costs, we're here 24/7. Visit srp.net/help or call 602-236-8888.
Are you tired of seeing rust stains in your sinks? Call Culligan. Or scrubbing hard water scale buildup from your fixtures. Call Culligan. We can customize whole home solutions to address common water worries found in Phoenix. And now, for a limited time, you can get better water at every tap in your home for $0 down, no payments, and no interest for 6 months. Problem water is no problem for Culligan. Contact your local water expert today. Contaminants may not be in your water. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for details.
Ready to take the next step in your education? It's time to check out Central Arizona College, Pinal County's community college. CAC offers workforce development programs to get you job ready quickly and university transfer programs to help you save on your bachelor's degree at one of Arizona's top universities. Summer enrollment is open now and registration for the fall term opens April 7th. Don't wait. Complete your free application today and schedule a meeting with your enrollment advisor to set your path to success. Visit centralaz.edu now. We are CAC.
A new diamond era begins. Desert Diamond Casino White Tanks is now open. There's even more of your favorite slots and tables, a sports book, an atmosphere sparkling with excitement, and top names like the legendary Morton's Steakhouse and signature Starbucks coffee. Best of all, this stunning new destination is right at Loop 303 and Northern Parkway. So come and live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Automation.
Fulton Homes is bringing legendary Fulton quality back to the West Valley. Explore 4 exceptional West Valley locations with more standard features and thousands of ways to personalize your home. Find out why people buy Fulton Homes over and over again. Fulton Homes, you're proud to own, we're proud to build.
The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alicio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060. Online at KTUS1060.com and the KTUS 1060 app.
Changes are coming to the Phoenix Suns. That is what Mat Ishbia told all of us yesterday during his, I guess we would call it an exit interview, but meeting with the media after the Suns season has come to an end. He promised changes. He promised that things were going to be different this offseason, that it's going to be a team that you can be proud of, a team that's going to be fun to watch, a team that is going to finally go in the right direction and have an identity that you will relate to, that you will resonate with. He talked about the changes that will be coming and that there will be some things that will be different. And I want to know what those changes might be. Started on Monday with the decision to fire Mike Budenholzer and restart a coaching search all over again. There's the front office whose roles are up in the air, and I think this is probably the thing we need to pay the most attention to here over the next week or so, what they decide to do in the front office. I said yesterday, I'll repeat it today. I think it said a lot that James Jones was up there answering questions with the media. For those of you that are expecting a front office change in regards to the president of basketball operations, I don't know if it's going to happen. I lean right now, if I had to put a percentage on it, I'll go 65-35 that James Jones is back. His contract is up in June. I don't know if you're going to give him an extension, but if you are going to move on from James Jones, wouldn't you have done so before this press conference, before he got a chance to meet with the media? And wouldn't you get a new president of basketball operations before you bring in a new head coach? Again, they can still make a change. I do think there is one escape pod for them. And it is, they could, because his contract is up in June, have conversations over the next couple of days, and Matt say to James, I've just got to go in a different direction. And they phrase it as, we couldn't come to terms on a new contract. We wish James the best, but we're going to go our separate ways because we couldn't come to terms on what a new deal for our president of basketball operations would look like. There's the only escape hatch that I can see for this team. Other than that, all the signs point to James Jones being in charge. It's not like he's the GM and they can bring somebody in above him as the president of basketball operations. You'd have to create a new position because he is the president of basketball ops. Is there something above president that we want to use? I mean, they're just CEO of basketball operations. I mean, you'd be just making up a position just to keep James Jones and not fire him. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So the fact that he was up there answering questions, I don't know what changes are coming to the front office. We know that there are going to be different players. We know that Kevin Durant is more than likely not going to be here, although some news yesterday makes me a little nervous about what that might look like. Bradley Beal is going to be gone from this team. He can't be back. Cannot be back. I'm very clear on this. Cannot play basketball for the Phoenix Suns anymore. Can't do it. Cannot start a new chapter with a new identity. All of the things that we listed in hour number 1 of the program at the start of the show, right, of what the identity for this team's supposed to look like. Bradley Beal matches none of those qualities. None of them. cannot be a veteran leader, a veteran voice in that room. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Buy him out. I know it's going to cost a lot. I know you have to write the check. Bradley Beal cannot play basketball for the Phoenix Suns anymore. His last game was the last game that he played this season. It's over, done with. Will not entertain the idea of Bradley Beal being back. That change has to happen. But what else? What other change, meaningful changes, are coming? You know you're getting a new head coach. We know that Kevin Durant is more than likely going out the door. I'm just going to will it into existence that Bradley Beal is out the door. I don't expect there to be a major change in the front office. Could they bring in some new assistant GMs? Could they bring in a cap guy? Could they make some changes there that are mostly cosmetic? I guess so. Is that going to give everybody the warm and fuzzies? Is that going to get you excited about the direction that the Suns are going in? Is that going to make you feel better? Are you going to believe that those are actions that are following through on the words that Mat Ishbia said? They wouldn't for me. Those wouldn't be actions that made me re-up my confidence. So what changes actually are coming for this team? Some new players. We already know there's going to be a new head coach. The front office is where all of the focus needs to lie right now. Because that, to me, is the last thing that could see a major change. That is the last place where you could have an impactful change. Because that is another area where a brand new voice can be brought in. And that brand new voice could be the perfect person to help put into place this new identity that you're looking for. Somebody with a new voice, a new perspective might be able to identify those players that have that toughness, that have that defensive intensity, that have that versatility, that have that adaptability, that can be that face-to-face, nose-to-nose. I am not going to back down from any challenge that is put in front of me. That, to me, is if you wanted to put a mission statement on the identity that this team's trying to find, I am not backing down from any challenge. I don't care how good the team across from me is. We are not backing down from this challenge. That is what I want to look for in any player that I'm trying to get. That extends to the Kevin Durant trade. It extends to what I'm looking for in the draft. It extends to whatever free agents I might bring in here. Whatever type of player acquisition I'm doing this summer, my mantra needs to be, I want guys who are up for a challenge. I want guys who embrace that challenge, that aren't going to back down from some adversity, that aren't going to back down from the opposing team, throwing them a little elbow, pushing them, testing them, poking their buttons. I want somebody who's going to poke back. I want somebody who's going to be right there in the weeds. Now, you don't need to have everybody that does that. You need a couple of guys who can be the team defenders. But I want guys who will embrace that challenge. That's where the most change is going to come. 65-35 on a front office change as we sit here today going into the weekend. You had James Jones and Josh Bartelstein be in front of the podium yesterday and answer questions. The Sacramento Kings got eliminated from the playoffs, bounced from the play-in game. The next day they fired their GM. They didn't let him have some media availability, do an exit interview, and then let him go. No, they let him go before that. So James Jones got his opportunity to speak yesterday. And it's different because there's an expiring contract in June that is kind of muddying the waters a little bit for this. But all signs from the way yesterday went tell me that James Jones isn't going anywhere.
How unprecedented would it be, or how many times do you think it's happened where we see a general manager or president of basketball operations come out and do a press conference like that at the end of the season and then be fired or can't reach terms on a new deal or however they want to phrase it within the coming weeks?
I don't want to say that it's unprecedented because there probably are.
I'm sure it's happened.
But here's what I would say. It's not the ideal way to do things. It's not the respectful way to do things. It's not the way I would do things if I'm trying to change the perspective and narrative about the way I'm running my basketball team. If I'm Mat Ishbia, there are a lot of eyeballs on me and the way I'm going to conduct myself. I just fired another head coach. A lot of people are saying that I've got new owner syndrome. People are saying that I don't do things correctly. I then just sent the message to everybody that we are going to do things differently, that we are going to make the necessary changes, that we are going to change the identity, the culture, everything about our club. And then my first major action since that press conference is me kind of looking like I don't know what I'm doing things backwards. It would be a really bad optic right away. It would be a negative immediately for an offseason that is very important. We are going to, this offseason, I should say, go through every single decision with a fine-tooth comb. Everything is going to be overanalyzed. Everything is going to be put into a bucket of good thing or bad thing. Every single move is going to be scrutinized because everybody knows how important it is that they get this right and they lay the foundation, they lay the bricks right now. They don't have to build the house in one offseason, but you got to lay the foundation. You got to start on the right foot. And if we let James Jones go up there and have a press conference, and then next Tuesday we decide that we're parting ways with him, there's part of me that would be, okay, you got to the right result. You made the right decision in my mind. I just hate how we got here. Did we need to let him have the press conference and leave it up in the air and basically embarrass him? I know that's not what you were trying to do, but that's the way it's going to look. And so to me, again, maybe he changes roles, but he stays around. I don't know. I've heard some people talk about that, about role changes, right? I'm not so sure, but it would just be a really bad look in the first major move that you would make after talking about doing things differently and being more accountable and changing up the way things are done. I think it would just be a really bad look.
It would be a public firing. It's like they did it in the town square if they fire him. I think it's a bad look on the entire organization we had this press conference where it felt as if they put everything on James Jones. Mat Ishbia got up there and said, I don't make any player or personnel decisions. Then they had Barlstein come out and say, listen, James Jones handles most of the personnel decisions. I'm more of the finance guy. And then you're going to fire him again after you drug his name through the mud in a whole press conference.
Well, and again, you made a delineation that I don't meddle. The front office does what the front office does. And by having him up there, I don't want to say you're endorsing him, but you're not saying that he needs to be held accountable. And now maybe you will hold him accountable. Maybe ultimately we will get to the right place here, at least in my mind, where they make that change. I'm just going to hate how they went about it. And it's going to make me a little uneasy. It's going to be like, okay, right decision, wrong process. And you can get lucky and get the right result. But if your process is bad, then more times than not, you're going to get bad results. You may get lucky in this case and make the right decision and get to the right place. But if your process is bad over a large enough sample size, you're going to make more bad decisions than you're going to make good decisions. And so that's what would make me uneasy about it. So that's really the only major change left to make. We know what players are going to get changed. We know what's going to be different there. The front office is the last thing that is up in the air. And that is the thing that we are all focusing on here as we head into the weekend and we head into the next chapter of this offseason for the Phoenix Suns. Hour number one coming to a close when we come back. Do we have a roadmap to what the Cardinals might be thinking about doing on draft night? It's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply.
When we say jumbo, we mean jumbo shrimp. Del Taco's Jumbo Shrimp Tacos are packing serious flavor. Crispy jumbo shrimp wrapped in a warm flour tortilla with crunchy cabbage, zesty pico de gallo, and our savory secret sauce. Get 2 jumbo shrimp tacos stuffed with big shrimp energy for just $6. That's right. Get 2 jumbo shrimp tacos for just $6, only at Del Taco. But hurry, this offer's here for a limited time. Price and participation may vary.
Take advantage of thousands of dollars in SRP rebates and discounts on energy-efficient home upgrades like new air conditioning units, windows, ducts, and insulation. Save money on your energy bill while also making your home more comfortable. SRP's network of participating contractors can guide you from start to finish and maximize your savings by combining Inflation Reduction Act incentives with SRP rebates. Learn more at savewithsrp.com.
Ghost World Tour 2025. Ghost Theatrical Heavy Metal Arena Rock. August 11th, Footprint Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Ghost.
ASU Baseball continues their weekend series on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils this Friday evening for Game 2 against Texas Tech. As the season continues, ASU is ready to take on whatever comes their way and fight for a win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, with the live call this Friday evening. It's ASU versus Texas Tech. Pre-game coverage at 6:45 p.m. and first pitch at 7 right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com/Sun Devils.
Oh, this might be the best sentence I utter all day on the program. We are less than a week away from the NFL draft.
6 days.
It doesn't get any better than that. We are inside of a week to the NFL draft, and we will finally get all of our answers to what the Cardinals may or may not be doing with the 16th overall pick. I know that they met with the media yesterday, that being Monty Ossenfort and Jonathan Gannon, and talking about loving the draft process. You and me both, Monty. You and me both love everything about it. Can't wait next Thursday. I have a bit of a tough. I have a bit of a scheduling issue that I have to work out because I coach my daughter's softball team. We practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, we practice 6 to 8. I'm just letting everybody know right now. And if anybody who is, because everybody on the team knows what I do for a living, all the parents know what I do. And so sometimes I think, are tuning in to see what's going on. If any of them are listening right now, my phone will be out and I will not be paying attention to practice next Thursday. I'm promising you that right now. I will be watching the NFL draft.
During college, I worked at a restaurant.
Okay.
And so I was there scheduled on Thursday, worked all day to try and get somebody to cover my shift. Nobody would. And then in the middle of work, and all of a sudden the Eagles make a trade for A.J. Brown. So I was like, hey, I have to step out. I'm so sorry. And then went outside and called my dad to tell him.
You hit him with the I was just feeling a little under the weather here. Gotta go
I'm
home.
so sorry. I need to regroup outside here.
Yeah. Can I have just a couple of minutes for myself? Yeah. It's one of my favorite days of the year. It's just, it is a thing that has taken on a life of its own. I mean, it is its own sub-entity within the NFL. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I know not everybody's watching college football and, keeping an eye on these prospects. And in, August and September, when the Cardinals are playing regular season games, I'm watching guys to see who they could potentially draft next year. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but man, there's something about it for me that's just, it is so much fun. And the culmination of it, and there's the puzzle pieces all coming together. It is one of my favorite sports days of the year. I saw something on social media yesterday, and it's nothing new. I saw it in my feed yesterday. This whole you can only keep 3 sporting events thing, like the World Series, the Masters, March Madness, the Super Bowl, the college football playoff, the Stanley Cup, things like that. The NFL draft's not one of them, but for me, it would be if it was on that list. I'm not getting rid of the NFL draft. It's not happening.
People always ask me, why do you love the draft? It's just watching people pick kids out of college. Let me explain to you why I love the draft and what it means for franchises. Let's rewind. Back in 2016, Denver trades up to take Paxton Lynch. Have you ever heard this story?
Oh, I know who Paxton Lynch is, the Memphis QB.
Yes. So anyway, so Denver traded up to take him with Seattle. Well, Seattle had a deal done with Kansas City that fell apart 30 seconds before the pick went in, and then they traded it immediately to Denver. Kansas City wanted that pick and wanted Paxton Lynch. They didn't get him that year. Then they go the next year, trade up and take Mahomes.
Again, the only place where these types of stories exist are the NFL draft. Sometimes it's about the moves you don't make. Sometimes it's about the players that fall to you. Patrick Mahomes was not the first overall pick. Lamar Jackson was not the first overall pick. Like
Josh Allen, not the first overall pick.
Yeah, you've got guys like Joe Burrow, right? I mean, I get it. Justin Herbert, not the first overall pick. You never know who you might be able to get in this draft that is a future Hall of Famer, that is a future All-Pro, Pro Bowler, person that's going to take your team over the top. The Cardinals could very easily draft somebody. Just because all the scouts say that this isn't a super top-heavy superstar draft, it's more of a starters draft, that doesn't mean that teams aren't going to find somebody in the second, third, fourth, fifth rounds on day 3 that won't become a superstar. Puka Nacua, one of the superstar wide receivers in the game, 5th round pick. 5th round pick. I mean, you can find a superstar. You can find a star anywhere. The Cardinals are going to try to find a star with every one of their picks. They're going to try to find a star with a 16th overall pick. I saw this story on Cards Wire yesterday. It was the prospects that are considered first-round potential prospects that the Cardinals have visited with. They are part of their 30 visits. And you're going to sense a theme here. Ohio State offensive lineman Josh Simmons, Texas offensive lineman Kelvin Banks, Toledo D lineman Darius Alexander, Ole Miss defensive lineman Walter Nolan, Michigan D lineman Kenneth Grant. Bunch of edges. How about Jalen Walker and Mykel Williams out of Georgia? How about James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee? How about Shamar Stewart and Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M? How about linebacker Jahad Campbell out of Alabama? Cornerback Will Johnson out of Michigan? Trey Amos, the corner out of Ole Miss. Very big theme there. Of those are the guys that are projected to go in the first round, at least somewhat projected to go in the first round.
Can I say something else interesting?
Please.
Only Big Ten, SEC, and then Toledo were the only schools you named there.
That's a real cheap shot at the University of Toledo. But yes, I hear your point.
Not a cheap shot. By the way, they just produced a Super Bowl champion out of the University of Toledo.
But yeah, a lot of Big Ten, mainly SEC, right? Texas, Ole Miss, Georgia, Tennessee, A&M, Alabama, Ole Miss. Yeah, I mean, all SEC and Big Ten. I mean, that's where college football is going anyway. Those are where all the big schools are. Is there anything to glean from this? Are the Cardinals taking one of these guys at 16? Is that the takeaway here? Again, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edge guys. 5 edge guys listed in this group, 2 corners, and there's a lot of trench guys. All of that makes sense for what we think the Cardinals might be interested in taking with the 16th overall pick. I know I've kind of been on an island by myself saying I wouldn't hate taking a wide receiver. In fact, I'd love if they took a wide receiver with 16. If they took Matthew Goldman, I'd be thrilled. I'd be overjoyed with that as the selection for the Cardinals. I know that's not what everybody wants to see them do. They think it would be foolish to take back-to-back wide receivers. I'm okay with it. If they landed Matthew Golden, I think that would be a worthwhile pick. But these 30 visits that they've had, if you want to glean anything from it, they have leaned heavily towards the trenches. They have leaned heavily towards the offensive and the defensive line and their pass rush, which should not be a shock to absolutely anybody at this stage. It is what their biggest need was going into the offseason. You knew they were going to try to address it every single way. We have said at length that when this draft is over, and it is the Monday after the NFL draft, I think we're going to look back at this class and they will have checked every single box. They'll take a wide receiver at some point. They'll take a corner at some point. They'll get a defensive lineman. They'll get an offensive lineman. They'll get an edge. They will take a swing in every single department that we all think they should take a swing at in this NFL draft because the groups just line up perfectly. But if you want a potential list of guys to keep an eye on with the 16th overall pick, I just read them to you. A lot of SEC edge players, some Big Ten defensive linemen, some SEC and Big Ten offensive linemen. Again, trenches. Talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and their identity when it comes to the Phoenix Suns. The Arizona Cardinals clearly have an identity of we got to upgrade our trenches. We are going to be really good running the football. We're going to get after the quarterback. We're going to grind it out for 4 quarters with you. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Start hour number 2. Did a bucket of cold water get thrown on the Suns' potential grand plans? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Phoenix, get ready for an action-packed soccer Saturday. Phoenix Rising takes on rival Sacramento Republic in a special matinee showdown on Saturday, April 19th at 1 p.m. Arrive early for the Valley's biggest Easter egg hunt, packed with unique and fun prizes for kids. Plus, score an exclusive Phoenix Rising Croc Charm free at the gate while supplies last. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Big stakes, bigger rivalry. Be there.
Don't miss Arizona's largest reptile expo, the Phoenix Reptile Expo, happening Saturday, April 26th from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. and Sunday, April 27th from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. at the Mesa Convention Center in downtown Mesa. Check out Arizona's largest selection of snakes, lizards, turtles, frogs, reptiles, and amphibians from around the world, all under one roof. Tickets for the event are $12 for adults, $5 for kids, and children 5 and under are free with a paid adult admission. Don't miss Phoenix Reptile Expo 2025, happening April 26th and 27th at the Mesa Convention Center, located at 263 North Centennial Way in downtown Mesa. For more info, go to phxreptileexpo.com. That's phxreptileexpo.com. Sponsored by ZoomEd, Predators Reptile Center, Timberline, Triple L Reptile, Redline Shipping, and Arizona Exotic Animal Hospital.
Fisher Tools is your one-stop shop for safety, job site storage, power tools, material handling, hand tools, and things you never knew you needed. If you work in the construction industry or trades, we are your place to shop. Fisher Tools is here to meet the needs of construction pros, facility maintenance, safety, and anyone that wants to have the tools to get the job done right. We carry Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita, Proto, MSA, Knack, Steel, and so much more.
Hi, I'm Diane Fisher. From our humble beginnings in 1964 at the Phoenix Park and Swap to our 4-acre campus, located just south of Tempe Marketplace, south of Rio Salado, between 101 and McClintock. Fisher Tools has been building the valley for over 60 years. Come check us out and browse our huge selection of tools and anything you need to do the job right. We're also online at fishertools.com. KUPD listeners will receive 10% off their order when you mention this ad. Fisher Tools. If we don't have it, we can't sell it.
Right now, at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale, you can lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-30 for just $249 a month, plus tax for 36 months, with just $29.99 down.
The name to remember? Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. On approved credit plus $998.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Welcome in to the lunch break, hour number 2 here of the program, 12:03 on a Friday. Hope everybody's having a fantastic start to their weekend. I won't lie, I'm a little groggy this morning, little tired. We're fighting through it. I was up early this morning because I helped hide some kegs for the KUPD Easter keg hunt this morning. So I was up driving around, hiding a couple of Easter kegs for everybody to find. They were found very early, apparently. I did not do a very good job of hiding them. They were found very quickly in the process.
I was going to say, clearly, you really weren't that secretive about it.
Well, so this is my first year doing it, and I the idea is that they get found at some point. I don't want to be the guy who it's, 9, 10 o'clock and the show's about to be over and there's still a couple of them still out there, right? I want it to be kind of a balance. I don't want it to be one of the first ones that gets found, but I want it to be found at some point. So I had to workshop it with a couple of people and ask some thoughts of where to hide these things in different places.
It's also unfair. They gave out your cross streets. That's unfair.
Well, what are you talking about? I'm supposed to give the cross streets. I gave them the cross streets of where they were so that they can be found. Again, I don't want this just hanging out there all day. I want somebody to find it. So and again, it's one of those things that the entire time I felt like I was doing something wrong, and I wasn't. I was just helping out. But it's dark out. You're looking around to make sure nobody's following you. It just feels very weird. But it's a little groggy this morning because I was up early doing all of that. Are the Diamondbacks groggy right now, Producer Evan? How are we looking early on?
It's 2-0 Cubs in the bottom of the third.
So I would describe that as a groggy start for...
Certainly a groggy start. A second inning 2-run home run by Carson Kelly gave the Cubs the lead.
Carson Kelly, old friend Carson Kelly got the Diamondbacks.
Revenge game. Bang, bang, bang.
Home run for Carson Kelly. Man, that's all right. Well, Corbin Burns on the mound. The Diamondbacks will look to get back into this one. The Phoenix Suns are going to have a major trade to accomplish this summer. Kevin Durant's future. I said 65-35 that James Jones was coming back as the president of basketball ops for the Phoenix Suns. I would say I am 95-5 that Kevin Durant gets traded. 96-4 that Kevin Durant gets traded this summer. And we have discussed how the playoffs are still very important for the Phoenix Suns. Even though they're not participating, even though they aren't in pursuit of a championship, this still matters to them. Because the likely candidates that might jump towards the front of the line in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes are going to be the teams that disappoint in the postseason. The teams that miss the mark. The teams whose fan bases expect them to go to a certain level and they fall short of that level. And perhaps they get embarrassed in the process. And the team that is the apple of everybody's eye. I mean, it is the perfect team to root against. You want this team to get bounced in the first round. You want them to be desperate enough to call you about Kevin Durant, and that is the Houston Rockets. Why? They've got your picks, and you want those picks back desperately. You want to control the future of your team again. You want to be in control of, if we have a bad season, we are going to be able to at least reap the rewards of that bad season. We at least are going to have our ping pong balls in the system, in the draft lottery, to try to get a blue chip prospect to turn this around. And so that's why Houston is number one with a bullet for everybody. I mean, it is the top team. You ask anybody, want to make a deal with Houston, Kevin Durant to Houston, mutual interest between the two sides. Everybody wants to connect every single dot possible between the Houston Rockets and the Phoenix Suns because they want their picks back. And because Houston's got some young players. We've said 2 draft picks, a starter, and somebody with some potential. That's realistically what you're looking at. But I wonder if some cold water has started to get thrown on the Houston Rockets as a team that is going to make a big swing for Kevin Durant. This last night from Mark Stein, who works for his own Substack called The People's Insider, quote, with the 52-win Rockets soon to open a playoff series against Golden State, sources tell The People's Insider, Jake Fisher and me, that a Houston trade pursuit of Durant is even, quote, less likely, end quote, than previously thought. Now, a couple of things. On the surface, that is horrible news to hear. On the surface, the Houston Rockets not being interested in a pursuit of Kevin Durant, it being less likely than previously thought, sent a shiver down your spine. I mean, it just, your skin crawled. Because that was your get-out-of-jail-free card. Trading with the Houston Rockets, getting your picks back, maybe getting a young player or two, that was your way of getting hope. That was your way of gaining optimism this offseason. And so to hear that, you wonder if you have to go completely back to the drawing board. I'm going to say, we talked about him yesterday retiring. I'll hit you with an old Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friends. It's easy to say that right now. It's easy to say that when you're still in the playoffs. It's easy to say that while your first-round series hasn't gotten underway against Golden State. Talk to me if you get swept by Golden State. Talk to me if you lose as the 2 seed in 5 games to Golden State. Talk to me if you're a first-round exit and Golden State wipes the floor with you. Now, do I expect that to be the outcome? No, I expect Houston to win this series. But it's easy to say, oh, we're not interested in Kevin Durant. Yeah, everybody's talking about it, but nah, we like our group. We won 52 games. We've got a young core here. We're just going to get better, and this is going to be valuable playoff experience. It's another thing if you get bounced in the first round and you get embarrassed. If only we had a team in recent memory that went into their first-round series and got embarrassed, and it led to some major changes. Can anybody think of a recent example of a team that went into the first round with championship aspirations and they got bounced in the first round, perhaps in embarrassing fashion? Bruce Revin, anything come to mind there for you?
I can't think of one. Do they play here in town?
You know what? I wasn't thinking of them, but that's a great call by you. Yes, the Phoenix Suns last year would fit this exact bill of a team with championship aspirations, championship goals, who got embarrassed in the first round and knocked out by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Forced them to reevaluate everything. I think if we asked them before the playoffs, are you considering making a coaching change with Frank Vogel? They would have laughed you out of the building. No, we're not. We're not considering a coaching change. Come on, we just hired this guy. We just brought him in. So it is easy for people in Houston to dismiss the idea of trading for Kevin Durant while they haven't played a game of their series yet. Now, if they win their first round series, if they get by Golden State, then yeah, I think we need to start to take this report a little more seriously, because I think the further and further all of the teams that we have talked about, Houston, Minnesota, Miami, Golden State, New York, all of the teams that came up the last time, right? You got New York playing in the playoffs. You have Golden State playing in the playoffs. You have Minnesota. You have Houston. I know Oklahoma City is still a team people throw out there, so we'll just put them on the list, even though I don't think that's very likely. All of these teams, the further and further that they go into the postseason, the less and less desperate those teams become. Because they could then look at their series if they lose in 7 in the conference finals, and they can say, man, we're just a couple bounces of the ball from it going our way. It wasn't a talent issue. We just didn't have some breaks go our way. We had a cold night shooting in game 6 or game 7. And if that's different, maybe we're playing in the NBA finals. The further and further these teams get into the postseason, I think the easier it is to excuse make your way out of trading for Kevin Durant. You get bounced in the first round. You get embarrassed in the first or second round. It's hard to get up from. It's hard for you to dismiss the idea of making a trade for Kevin Durant. So as long as you have a couple of teams that have that stench of desperation, that are under pressure, maybe from an owner, maybe from a fan base, to make that big splash. I keep looking at New York and wondering. They make the big move for Mikal Bridges. They make the big trade for Karl Anthony Towns. They have Jalen Brunson. They are a team that is on the ascent. And if they don't make it further than they did a year ago, is that fan base going to get antsy? Is that fan base going to want a big splash, even though you made 2 big splashes the offseason prior? And could that big splash be somebody that we know they have tried to pursue in the past in Kevin Durant?
One of the other teams we talked about, too, was Minnesota.
Yep. Minnesota jumps off the page to me because I think their first round matchup is against the Denver Nuggets. Lakers. Mixed up my 3 and 4 seeds in the Western Conference. So could very easily see a world where they're a first round exit, right? So check that box. And then they have what could be the X factor. They have brand new owners. And they have brand new owners that may want to make a very quick splash, that may want to announce to the world that they won this battle to be the new owners of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they want to make up for the trade of Karl Anthony Towns, and they want to send a message to their fan base that, hey, we believe in this team. We are going to do whatever it takes to win a championship. Does that sound familiar?
Maybe they did it to somebody else last offseason?
Perhaps.
Last playoffs?
Perhaps coming in as a brand new owner and wanting to send a message right away to your fans that you're in it to win a championship. Maybe it would be like trading for Kevin Durant. If only there was a franchise who had a brand new owner that wanted to make an impact and show the fans that he wanted to win, and he traded for Kevin Durant. Life is a full circle sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. The Minnesota Timberwolves could do exactly what Mat Ishbia did on his first day as the owner of the Phoenix Suns. History doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. This would be history rhyming. This would be it looking very, very similar to what Mat Ishbia did. So Minnesota is a great shout. Again, they are a team that feels more likely than Houston, more likely than Oklahoma City to be a first-round exit. So they would check that box of desperation. Anthony Edwards would probably campaign very strongly to bring in the guy that was his idol, that is his idol, that he loved playing against last season. They've got some young players. They've got some draft picks. You want to talk about a guy that fits the identity that we're trying to create. We opened the show talking about the identity. We talked about a guy who's going to go nose to nose, going to be super tough. I would make it a requirement that Dante DiVincenzo is a part of a trade if I'm making a deal with Minnesota for Kevin Durant. You get me Dante DiVincenzo. You want one guy that is the we invoked Dylan Brooks's name, Marcus Smart's name came up, Drew Holiday are names that we invoked. I'm asking for Dante DiVincenzo back as part of a Kevin Durant package. Literally the perfect player for the identity of this basketball team. And so Minnesota does feel like a really prime candidate. So some cold water potentially thrown on the Suns' pursuits? Not yet. I think it's easy to say that you're not interested when you're still playing in the playoffs. Talk to me after you win a round. You beat Golden State, you beat them in 5 games, you handle them with relative ease, then I start to believe that you're going to think strongly about your roster and not going to want to upset that too much by trading away picks and players to get Kevin Durant. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us. Would love to hear from you on a Friday edition of the program. We've also got you covered on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream, where we did confirm in hour number 1 of the program that Michael is still on the beach and he is still enjoying some adult beverages. So we were able to confirm that in hour number 1. Shout out to Michael for enjoying a nice vacation, clearly, but also consuming the show in the process. That is a diehard. That is a P1. That is somebody that'll go to bat for this show any day of the week. So shout out to you, Michael, who's listening over on YouTube. When we come back, the Diamondbacks last offseason took a major risk, and so far, it has paid off. That's next, the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
It's 50 times stronger than heroin. It's the leading cause of death for Americans aged 14 to 45, and it's everywhere now. 7 of 10 illegally made pills contain it. We're talking about fentanyl, and we hope you talk about it too with your teen and all the young people in your life. It's okay to be the buzzkill. Learn more at fentanylfreeaz.com. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Child Safety.
Harrah's Auction Casino invites you to celebrate Earth Day Green Play on April 26th. As part of our Code Green commitment to sustainability, Caesars Rewards members can play for a chance to win a Mustang Mach-E. Just sign up for Caesars Rewards, swipe your card, and start earning entries. Don't miss this electrifying opportunity at the official sponsor of Play, Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all. You must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
The legacy continues. Pantera. The heaviest tour of the summer. Tearing up Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, August 26th. With Amon Amarth. On sale now at LiveNation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Spring Sale. How can I help?
Oh, hi. It's time for spring cleaning and I need a total refresh.
Perfect. Huge savings in store and online can help you refresh for less. Save up to 50% off on hundreds of select outdoor, garage, bathroom items and more.
Oh.
Plus, loyalty members can save an extra 10% on select sale items.
Wow. Now I won't have to spring break the bank.
Shop the IKEA Spring Sale March 18th through April 21st.
Offer valid 3/18 to 4/21/25. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary. See store and IKEA-USA.com/spring sale for details. Restrictions apply.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Jalen Milroe wasn't the quarterback darling of the offseason. He didn't have a hype train like Shedeur Sanders, or generate top-pick conversations like Cam Ward did, or ride the late-season surge of Jackson Dart. For most of this pre-draft cycle, Milroe is the quarterback in hiding in plain sight. Big arm, big frame, and great athleticism. That changed this week. He was officially invited to the green room at the NFL Draft, reserved for players that league experts think will go early. Scouts are reportedly falling in love with his upside. His combine interviews, stellar. His tape, raw, yes, but littered with flashes of greatness, especially the game against Georgia. He's not a finished product. He's not Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts. If the league office thinks Milroe's a round one talent, then maybe it's time we stop treating him like a developmental project. Instead, as one of the more intriguing quarterbacks in the draft. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to stand out, and that's where True Green comes in. Here's the best part. It's more affordable than you think. They'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Not happy? They will come back between visits to make it right. So don't wait. Head to truegreen.com today and let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results. Exclusions apply. See truegreen.com for details. Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Goodyear tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan. See their Goodyear test results, tire ratings, and reviews. Be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alessio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060. Online at KTUS1060.com and the KTUS 1060 app.
This past offseason, the Diamondbacks made a gamble. They gambled on a young player and giving that young player more opportunity. And that player has turned into one of the 4 best hitters that the Diamondbacks have in the early part of the season. I'll share a conversation that we just had off air between producer Evan and myself because I walked into his studio where he has the Diamondbacks game on, and he made a comment of anybody past 1 through 4 in the order, I just assume is going to make an out at this point because the 5 through 9 part of the order is struggling. And I made a comment that, yeah, if we were creating a trust tree of members of the Diamondbacks offense, and the higher up the trust tree you are, the more we trust you. There's 4 guys on the trust tree, and everybody else is like on the lowest branch possible. The guys all the way at the top are Corbin Carroll, obviously, Geraldo Perdomo, Josh Naylor, and the guy that I want to focus on right now, Pavin Smith. Those 4 guys are the Diamondbacks offense right now. If it was just yesterday's game where the team had 5 hits and won the baseball game, all 5 hits were from the guys hitting 1 through 4 in the lineup, the aforementioned Carroll, Perdomo, Smith, and Naylor. It has been those guys. And the Diamondbacks took a gamble. They let Jock Peterson walk. They did not bring him back. They did not go out and get a veteran DH option. They just gave the opportunity to Pavin Smith. They said, you're our guy. You had a great September. You had a great end to the season. And we think with more opportunity, you are going to be our regular everyday DH against right-handed pitchers. And so far, Pavin Smith has rewarded that gamble in a big way. This does not include what he is doing today. I don't know if he has done anything today. It was 2-0 last score update that we got from Evan. But since September 1st, this courtesy of D-Back Stats Info, since September 1st of 2024, Pavin Smith is hitting 37 for 109. That's a .339 batting average, 23 runs, 77 total bases. He has 13 doubles and 9 home runs, so 22 extra base hits. 22 of his 37 hits are extra base hits. He's had 26 RBIs and 18 walks. I mean, those are elite level numbers from your DH. Elite. Jock Peterson, do we have an update on Jock Peterson's batting average? Is he hitting above 100 yet?
Jock Peterson.
He was hitting like 075, 070, I think the last time we talked about this. And instead, the Diamondbacks have a player.
060.
He's hitting 060, so it's not going well. And in the meantime, the Diamondbacks have a guy who is in the middle of a 4-game hit streak. He has 3 straight multi-hit games and is 7 for his last 14 with 4 extra base hits. And among all DHs with at least 50 plate appearances in the National League, he has the highest batting average at over 400. That's more than Shohei Ohtani's batting average. Now, Ohtani has 10 more plate appearances because Smith kind of sits down against lefties from time to time. He is hitting like the best DH in the National League. That is what the Diamondbacks have at the top of their lineup. So, yeah, 5 through 9 kind of struggling right now, But boy, did they get this DH thing right. Pavin Smith, Josh Naylor, instead of Jock Peterson and Christian Walker. We talked about this earlier in the week. They've hit on both of those guys. Home runs. They just nailed those decisions. Absolutely perfect. And Pavin Smith, 29 years old, a young player that you can expect to be around for a decent amount of time, is going to be a part of this year's team, going to be a part of next year's team. I mean, just when you can hit on a homegrown player like that, when you don't have to go outside of the organization and spend $15, $20 million on a DH, just frees up. That gamble allowed them to go and pay Corbin Burnes. Instead of paying a DH, they went out and signed Corbin Burnes. You can only do that if you believe in your guy. You believed in Pavin Smith, and not only did you believe in him, but he is making that belief pay off. I mean, I know Corbin Carroll's a great story to start the year, and it's been awesome to see him play this well. It's awesome to see him put himself, I think, as the front runner in the MVP conversation. But I don't want Pavin Smith's start to the year to fall on deaf ears either. He has been just as good as Corbin Carroll. And as we mentioned, they've got 4 hitters right now that are the entirety of their offense, and Pavin Smith is one of those guys. He is, without a doubt, one of the key cogs that is making all of this go. The Diamondbacks took a major gamble not bringing back Jock Peterson, and more importantly, not going out and getting somebody else. There were other veteran DH options that would have cost less than what Jock Peterson was asking for. You could have very easily brought somebody in here that is a veteran, been there, done that, had some playoff experience, some championship experience, a veteran DH. You could have done that if you wanted to. Paid $10, $12 million to bring that bat in. You didn't. You decided, we want to lean into our strength. We want to lean into our pitching. We want to give Pavin Smith an opportunity, because that's what good organizations do. Good organizations, and the Diamondbacks are one of the best organizations in all of baseball from a front office perspective, is you got to know when to give your young guys an opportunity. And you have to know which young guys to bet on. Because if you bet on the right young guys and those young guys perform, you now free up all sorts of creativity to spend money on Corbin Burnes, to spend money and trade for Josh Naylor and take on his $10 million in salary. It allows you to make all of those other moves. But you got to be right. When you are a smaller market team and you're not spending the way the Dodgers and the Mets and the Yankees and the Phillies are, you got to hit on players like Pavin Smith. You got to hit on players like Geraldo Perdomo and sign him to an extension. You got to hit on Brandon Pfaadt and sign him to an extension. You got to hit on Justin Martinez and sign him to an extension. Lock yourself in, cost certainty. And the Diamondbacks are just hitting on all of these different cylinders, and it has just been, it's been great. It has been absolutely excellent to see, and Pavin Smith has been awesome since last September. He's picked up right where he's left off, and you know, do I expect Jock Peterson to hit 060 all year long? No, I think he'll come out of this slump in a little bit, but there is zero, I don't know if it's buyer's remorse because you didn't sign Pavin Smith, but we'll use the term anyway. There is zero buyer's remorse about what the Diamondbacks decided to do with their first base situation, with their DH situation, and with where they spent their money. Not a single ounce of buyer's remorse. They got their guy, and their guy has been excellent. I'll give you the numbers one more time. Since September 1st, he is hitting .339. 22 of his 37 hits are extra base hits, with 9 of them being home runs, 26 RBIs, and 8 walks. Just excellent. Excellence across the board. And this team is doing all this without Ketel Marte. So we're worried about 5 through 9. You're going to get somebody that's going to allow you to maybe only worry about 6 through 9 when Ketel Marte comes back. Hey, if you're listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app, listen for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Arizona Diamondbacks when they take on the Atlanta Braves on Saturday, April 26th at Chase Field. Get to the game early to get a Diamondbacks replica jersey courtesy of Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. The first 25,000 fans at the game will get one, and you can get your tickets at dbacks.com/SGT. Producer Evan, do we still have a 2-0 score right now that the Diamondbacks are trying to dig themselves out of?
Still 2-0, end of the 4th, coming to the top of the 5th.
So hopefully where are we at in the lineup? Are we getting to those guys we just mentioned? Is it time for Corbin Carroll and Perdomo and Smith and Naylor to hit?
We are towards the top of the lineup here coming out.
Love that, because those are going to be the guys that if they're going to turn this around and get 2 runs on the board, it is going to be against those gentlemen. When we come back, Devin Booker, he is the guy that the Suns are going to build around. How much of a say should he have? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Come visit the all-new Wecopa Casino Resort, formerly Fort McDowell Casino. Whether you're visiting for slots, table games, the Valley's favorite bingo hall, golf, or food, our new smoke-free casino resort is the place to be. Enjoy a fine dining experience like no other at Ember, or go for the lively crowd at WKP Sportsbook and Bar. Wecopa offers 2 top 10 golf courses in the state, and the resort with heated pools and cabanas is the perfect place to relax. Come experience Wecopa Casino Resort today. At Wecopa, we have the best of it all.
The savings are heating up at Mark Kia in Scottsdale. Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Kia K4 for just $169 a month for 24 months with just $19.99 due at signing.
You heard right. A brand new 2025 Kia K4 for under $200 a month. Go to markkia.com and check out our current selection of inventory not affected by any future tariff changes.
The name to remember, Mark Kia. Mark Kia. 10,000 mile per year lease. Payment plus tax title license and $998 doc fee. Offer expires April 30th, 2025.
Breaking Benjamin. And 3 Days Grace. Live. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Picture this. A family trusts a lawyer after their father has been seriously injured. And then they're told there's no way to win his case and they'll have to take care of him with no support.
And that would have been the end of the story because they hired the wrong lawyer. Fortunately, they called us to the husband-wife law team. We were able to use our years of expertise to uncover evidence previously missed and guarantee they could change their father's life forever.
Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
At A1 Garage Door Service, we wouldn't be here without you. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. During Customer Appreciation Month, we're giving back with special offers that you do not want to miss. Whether you're a loyal customer or trying us out for the first time, if you've never experienced A1, now's the perfect time to see why so many families trust A1. To all of our past, present, and future customers, thank you.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan, the owner of Precision Air and Plumbing, Arizona's #1 ranked AC company for over a decade. Manufacturers have raised new AC unit prices by up to 20%. But at Precision, we're selling new AC units at last year's prices and giving you 35% off. You won't get a better deal, so don't wait. If you're in the market for a new AC unit, make the Precision decision today and call us at 602-FIX-MY-AC.
Decision with Precision Air.
The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alessio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060. Online at KTUS1060.com and the KTUS 1060 app.
There is one thing certain about what next year's Phoenix Suns team is going to look like. And that certainty is that Devin Booker is going to be a part of it. Kevin Durant probably won't be here. Bradley Beal, crossing my fingers, hopefully won't be here. Devin Booker will be here. He is who the Suns are choosing to build around. And I know that might bother some of you. There are plenty of you out there that want them to just burn this thing to the ground. Trade everybody, get all the picks back in the world, and just tank and be bad for a couple of years. And it's more than just a couple. It would be a series of years, I think. Be a series of years.
Are we calling a series of weeks? Is that 3?
We haven't really come to a determination on what series of weeks actually means. All right, how about this?
We're officially 2 weweeks into a series of weeks.
So he's been out for 2 weeks, Ketel Marte?
Yes.
And for those of you who maybe don't know what we're talking about, a little inside the show thing, Ketel Marte was put on the injured list and we were told he was going to miss a series of weeks with his hamstring injury. We cannot figure out what a series of weeks is, so we're at least at 2. Now, a baseball series, we said was 3 or 4. So it could be a series of years that the Suns are not very good. And I think it might be a couple of series of years. It might be 2 series of years where the Suns aren't very good if they chose to go down that path. So they are choosing to pivot. They are choosing to retool around Devin Booker. So how involved should Devin Booker be in this process? What type of seat should Devin Booker have at the table? Should he have a major say in who this team hires as their next head coach? Should he have a say in what they do in free agency, what type of star they ultimately decide to put around him? Should his opinion matter when it comes to what they do with the front office? How much should Mat Ishbia consult his star player when making major decisions this offseason? And what I'm about to say might rub a lot of people the wrong way, and so I'm ready to embrace it. I'll give you the phone number now ahead of time, 480-864-1060. I'm ready. If you want to break out your pitchforks and you want to come for me, I just gave you the phone number. I am ready. I'm going to provide the toughness that the Suns didn't have this year. I'm ready to battle you. Devin Booker should be very involved in what the Phoenix Suns do this summer. He shouldn't have the final say, but his opinion should be welcomed. His opinion should be sought out, and his opinion should be considered in the process. Why do I say that? Look across all sports. Pick your favorite team, or how about this? Pick a winning franchise in any sport. In baseball, we talk about the Yankees and the Dodgers, right? Those would be 2 teams that would come to mind. Do you think the Yankees ask Aaron Judge about things they want to do in the offseason? Do you think maybe if they're considering a managerial change, they get the temperature and the pulse of the room from the guy who's their captain in Aaron Judge? You think they want to clue him in when they do something? You think they want his insight? Not to say that they're always going to do what he says, but he provides a perspective. He's been there forever, signed there long term. He has a pulse of the room. I want to hear from him. The Dodgers. You think when they decide on anything, maybe a pursuit of Juan Soto like they did last offseason, they don't talk to Mookie Betts. They don't talk to Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman, the superstars of their team, to get their input? You don't think that happens across all sports? You don't think the Chiefs talk to Patrick Mahomes when they're considering a major move? Just to get the player's perspective? Of course they do. Of course you consult the players. Not every player. You don't consult every player. But I consult my franchise stars. I consult the face of my franchise. Aaron Judge is the face of the New York Yankees. He gets a seat at the table. He gets a say. And you know what? Everybody, gather real close to your listening devices. Whether you're listening to us on the app, get that phone speaker right up to your ear. If you're listening in the car, just turn that volume up a couple of more notches. If you're listening on the web page, you got to just turn up the volume on your computer a little bit, because I'm going to tell you something here, and I want this to be very clear. Devin Booker is the face of the franchise for the Phoenix Suns, and he's not going anywhere. Okay? We got that? Devin Booker, the face of the Phoenix Suns. And I know that probably bothers a lot of you. I understand. I hear it. Devin Booker is the face of the franchise. The franchise's all-time leading scorer. He has been a forever Phoenix Sun. Up until this point, has said every single thing that you would want the face of your franchise to say. Has given zero indication that he is considering asking out. Wants to be here, prides himself on the idea of being a forever Sun, prides himself on the idea of being with one franchise for the entirety of his career. If that guy isn't worthy enough to have a voice in this process, if that guy isn't deserving of having a say, not the final say, not the majority say, but at least to have his opinion voiced. We talked a lot about Devin Booker's voice throughout the course of the season. And his voice was stifled by the head coach, the ex-head coach of the Phoenix Suns. I don't want that to be the case anymore. Now, I don't want Devin Booker to go around the head coach and tattletale to the owner if something goes wrong. I don't want that. But do you have any indication that Devin Booker would do that if he had a say? Your franchise superstars, the faces of your franchise, they deserve a seat at the table. They deserve to have their opinion be heard. You got to get this head coaching thing right? You have to get a head coach that's going to be here for a long time. You want a head coach that's going to be here for at least 5 or 10 years, if not longer. That's the goal here, to get a forever coach, to get somebody who goes down in the history books as one of the greatest coaches in Phoenix Suns basketball history, that goes down as the coach that brought this team their first championship. That's what you're trying to do. If that happens, that person is probably going to do it with Devin Booker as one of the stars of the team, if not the star of the team. So that relationship between coach and player is very important. We just watched an entire season where the relationship between coach and player doomed the team. Bud and Nurkic, Bud and Bradley Beal, Bud and Devin Booker, Bud and Kevin Durant. Mike Budenholzer ticked off every player on the Phoenix Suns that you wouldn't want to tick off. 4 starters, 2 superstars, 1 all-time great, another guy that's on pace to be an all-time great. Those are the players that Coach Bud rubbed the wrong way throughout the course of the season. You have to get the coach thing correct. And I need the relationship between the coach and the player to be in lockstep. And so I want to hear from Devin Booker of what he wants in the next head coach. I want to hear from Devin Booker, hey, is there anybody that you get along with, that you have a great relationship with, that fits what we're trying to do here? Because you bring Devin Booker into that process. You say, hey, Book, this is what we're trying to do. This is what we want to be. This is the identity we're trying to build. Are there any coaches that you have in mind? Is there anybody that you have a great working relationship with that fits these characteristics? Because you have to get this right. You need to have a coach and the superstar players be on the same page. And when it comes time to bringing in a partner in crime for Devin Booker, for somebody to play alongside him, be that superstar alongside him, you bet I want to hear from Devin Booker. Because the last time you made some trades for some superstars, it didn't work out because you didn't get the right fits. It didn't work. It didn't gel together. I don't want to alienate Devin Booker and push him away and push him towards reaching his breaking point and asking out. I want him to have a seat at the table. That's the way it goes in sports now. You may not like it. It may bother you. You may want just the owner and the GM to make all of these decisions. That is not how sports in 2025 work. The superstar players, the guys who have the big mega contracts because the money is getting ridiculous. I'm not saying it in a bad way. All these players deserve to make all the money that they're making, but the salaries and the percentage of the salary cap that these guys get is so large that if you don't have them involved in your process is bad. Your process is flawed. Your process is wrong. So if I'm the Phoenix Suns this offseason, if I'm Mat Ishbia this offseason, one of the first things I'm going to do, if I haven't done so already, is I am getting a meeting, a conversation on the books, and I am having that conversation with Devin Booker. I am starting to get Book involved in this process. Because if you don't do that, I think you are doomed to repeat your past mistakes. I think you are doomed to get a head coach in here that doesn't see eye to eye with his players, to not bring in the right players to surround Devin Booker. I know there are a lot of people that want to drive Book out of town. I get it. I'm not. I'm embracing Devin Booker. I am embracing what he means to this franchise. I am embracing what he means to this city. I am embracing what he means to this organization and the future that we're trying to build.
He gets people to go. It's
sells
hard.
Tickets, yes.
It's hard to get excited without a franchise guy. And even through this rebuild, retool, transition period, whatever you would like to call it, they're going to still have their franchise player. And there's not many teams you can say that. So it gives you a little bit of hope. It gives you a little bit of hope that when this team gets good, and like we said, a series of years it might be, maybe two series of years. But if Devin Booker's still here, there's still hope and people want to win with a guy who's been through it all. It makes it that much more sweet at the end.
I just think that if you are not going to embrace the guy who is the franchise all-time leading scorer, is a guy who over and over and over again has said the right things, done the right things, is great for the community. I mean, Devin Booker, other than losing in 6 games in the NBA Finals and not taking the team to the promised land, has done everything right. If that's not the guy that you're going to invite into the conversation, then you're never going to invite anybody into the conversation. And I wonder, truthfully, if you are going to be able to build the culture, build the identity that you are looking for. I want to send you into the weekend on a good note. We're going to give away a $50 gift card to Von Hansen's Meats and Spirits, located at Alma School just between Elliott and Warner in Chandler, or you can shop online at vonhansensmeats.net. Von Hansen's Meats and Spirits, the new old-fashioned meat market and butcher shop, and they have it all. They've got meats, beers, wines, barbecue rubs, wood chips. They've even got all-natural dog food and treats for your pup. You can get everything, and the weather is getting nice. You're going to want to break out that grill. I know I'm getting ready to take the cover off my Blackstone and get that thing fired up and ready to go. You're going to want to head on over to Von Hansen's Meat and Spirits. So I want to hook you up with a $50 gift card, get you into the weekend right. So how about this? Caller number 480-864-1060. We're going to hook you up, get you going into the weekend on a good note with a $50 gift card to Von Hansen. So fourth caller, 480-864-1060. And when we come back, we'll wrap up this edition of the program. We've got the leftovers. Producer Evan will have that for us on the other side of the break. It is the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G when you switch to the 5G Unlimited or 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
The Offspring. Supercharged worldwide in 25. One unforgettable summer night. The Offspring, live in Phoenix. With special guests Jimmy E. World and Newfound Glory. Playing Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater August 27th. Get tickets now at livenation.com. 3 great bands, 1 incredible show. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Looking to sell your home? Hi, I'm Andrew the Home Buyer, and I love making it easy to sell your house. I'll personally come and give you a cash offer the same day we meet, and I'll beat any other offer. It really is that easy to sell your home, and no need to clean or fix anything. I'll buy it in as-is condition. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today to get your same-day cash offer. Visit AndrewTheHomebuyer.com.
A new diamond era begins. Desert Diamond Casino White Tanks is now open. There's even more of your favorite slots and tables, a sports book, an atmosphere sparkling with excitement, and top names like the legendary Morton's Steakhouse and signature Starbucks coffee. Best of all, this stunning new destination is right at Loop 303 and Northern Parkway. So come and live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donald R. Nation.
Hey, it's Austin Clark, owner of Moxie Pest Control. Did you know there's over 1,000 pest control companies in Arizona? So why is Moxie the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona? Because at Moxie, we put people first, and we believe in paying it forward. That means kindness every time. It means showing up on time, going the extra mile, and treating your home like it's our own. And by taking a little extra time in our service, we make a few friends along the way. Our field experts are the kind of people you'll feel good having around your spouse, your kids, and your pets. Yes, we've trained them to solve pest problems better, but also to care more, smile more, and earn your trust at every visit. We offer same-day services in most cases, and we'll even give you 50% off your first service when you call. Call 888-MOXIE-10. That's 888-MOXIE-10. Moxie Pest Control, the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona.
ASU baseball continues their weekend series on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils this Friday evening for Game 2 against Texas Tech. As the season continues, ASU is ready to take on whatever comes their way and fight for a win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, with the live call this Friday evening. It's ASU versus Texas Tech. Pre-game coverage at 6:45 p.m. and first pitch at 7 right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com/Sun Devils.
Back to wrap up what has been a crazy week here on the program in all the best ways. And we had coaching change on Monday. We had a press conference yesterday. The Diamondbacks have been playing some great baseball. I mean, we've had it all here on the show. We appreciate you listening all throughout the week. If you missed anything from today's show, just search The Lunch Break wherever you get your podcast, and you can catch up on anything. And you can also, if you're listening on the app, listen for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks against the Braves on Saturday, April 26th at Chase Field. Get to the game early, and you have a chance to get a Diamondbacks replica jersey courtesy of Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. The first 25,000 fans at the game will get one. You can also get your tickets at dbacks.com/SGT. The leftovers, all the stories that we didn't get to throughout the course of the program, and as we wrap up another week here on the show, and that's where we allow producer Evan to take control, to take the reins. He is in charge. I mean, he does push the button, so he is mostly in charge, but this segment is all him here to close out the week. So, producer Evan, the show is all yours, buddy.
All right, we'll start with a D-backs update. So, top 6, head to the top 6.
Oh, yeah, a lot of this. Let me guess. A lot of
bang,
this.
Bang, bang,
A lot of offense. They're up like 7-2.
No, it is 2-1 Cubs, actually. But D-backs did push one across in the 5th. Thank you to a believe it was a Corbin Carroll single that drove in a run.
Would not surprise me.
And then they had
if you're unsure, that's a good bet on your part to just say, hey, Corbin Carroll did something.
And then they had a bases loaded at bat for Josh Naylor, who grounded into a inning-ending ground out.
That's unfortunate. That feels like the opportunity to break the game open, but okay.
But anyway, moving on. This weekend, exciting weekend for sports. NHL and the NBA playoffs kick off. Is there one you would like to start with? Your thoughts on the NHL or NBA playoffs?
We can start with the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Let's start with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Okay. In the East, we have Toronto, Ottawa, Tampa Bay, Florida, Washington, Montreal, Carolina, and New Jersey. I gotta ask if there's a team you like out of the East.
So if I'm looking at the East, and I have the bracket pulled up in front of me, and I'm looking at how this would all break down, I think Lightning Panthers is just going to be a war between two really good teams. So that feels like it could be Stanley Cup final level action between those two squads. From a narrative perspective, the two teams I'm paying attention to, the Capitals, after the year that Ovi has had, the year the team has had, can they finish it off on the coolest note of all time by winning a cup? And then the other question that I have, because they're the other 1 seed in the East, is does Toronto actually do something for once? We just have been waiting and waiting and waiting for Toronto to do something, and they never do. They always fall flat on their face in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So those would be some of the storylines that I'm paying attention to on the Eastern side of things.
The two teams I love in the East are Toronto, and I actually like Florida in this series. I think they got it done last year. I think they'll be good again.
Defending champs for a reason, right?
But that series is going to be so fun.
Yeah.
That series is going to be so fun. Moving on to the West, Winnipeg, St. Louis, Dallas, Colorado, Vegas, Minnesota, Kings, and Edmonton.
I want to talk about the top part of this bracket because Jets, Blues, Stars, Avalanche, all four of those teams are solid. I mean, Jets, Stars, Avalanche could all make a case for making a deep run in the playoffs. And so two of those teams are going home. Like two of those four teams are going home in the top part of the bracket. If I had to make a prediction, I'll say Winnipeg gets out. They've been really good all year. But there's not, other than maybe the Wild making a run, I don't know if there's a team that is super surprising to me.
No, I don't think so either. I think Winnipeg, obviously best goalie in the league, no doubt about it. That is a huge help down the stretch. I like Dallas a lot to make a run, and I think Dallas could give Winnipeg a good run for their money in that series. There's a lot of good series in the NHL playoffs, and it's one of the playoffs that doesn't really get talked about as much.
Well,
it's awesome.
Once it starts, once the Stanley Cup playoffs start, everybody goes, oh, yeah.
15 minutes in, they're like, oh, yeah, that's the best trophy in sports
You're
they're
like,
playing for, too.
Oh, yeah, this is fun. This is just chaos for 4 weeks, 5 weeks. It's just all chaos all the time. Yeah, it's a good time.
All right, moving on to the NBA. So tonight we have both play-in games. You have Mavs Grizzlies in the West. The 10 seed Mavs and the 8 seed Grizzly. Winner in, loser out. In the East, you have the Heat and the Hawks. Same thing.
I'll take the Heat on the Eastern side of things, and I know they played well against Sacramento, but I'll take Memphis against Dallas in the Western Conference side of things. You want my predictions? You want my Final Four? You want to do this here on a Friday? Since tomorrow, some of these series get underway. 4 of them actually get underway tomorrow.
Give me your Final Four.
I have the Cavs and the Knicks on the Eastern Conference side of things. Yes, I have the Knicks upsetting the Celtics.
I love that.
And on the Western Conference side of things, I have the Lakers and the Thunder.
I think you and I are very similar. I have the Lakers. I hope the Warriors beat the Rockets because I do think Lakers-Warriors would be fun to watch. And I like the Thunder team a lot. I think they're really, really good.
I think they get some disrespect because they're the Thunder and everyone's waiting for them to fall flat on their face and get embarrassed. But they've been good all year long. So has Cleveland. And I think both of those teams are really heavy favorites to make it to the conference finals. I don't see them slipping up. I really don't. The Cavs, they're going to play either Miami or Atlanta, and then they get Pacers Bucks. I think they're comfortably going to be able to beat both of those teams, whoever they face, and get to the conference finals at least. And then for the Thunder, Nuggets, Clippers, yeah, maybe those teams could be thorns in their side, but the Thunder have just been so dominant. They have an MVP candidate in SGA, and there's just all the reason to think that they're going to be able to be one of the Final Four. Do I think both those teams are going to be in the championship? I don't know. It's probably unlikely that both 1 seeds get there, but I have them both in the Final Four. So
I also really think the Thunder have the best NBA playoff atmosphere. That place looks like it's rocking all the time because, what else is there to do in Oklahoma City? But it just looks like it's an awesome time in there. Okay, now we talked about it before. Just 6 days away.
Oh, yeah.
New draft story today. Tom Pelissero over at NFL.com. 2025, 5 potential surprise first-round picks. I'm going to read all 5 to you, and I want you to react to the names.
You want to go one by one?
Let's go one by one. We'll start. UCLA linebacker Carson Schwezinger, who obviously led all of college football in tackles last year and won the Dick Buckus.
Yeah. Super impressive player. He's listed as one of the surprises that could go in the first round.
Surprises.
Yeah, I don't know how surprised I would be. This is a guy that you put on the tape, and man, he flashes all over the place. He's a really interesting player. If the Cardinals were picking at 25, he might be a guy that I'd be like, ooh, I may want to take him. But picking at 16, it might be a little rich. But okay, that's a good name to invoke at the start.
The next one, Emeka Egbuka, receiver, Ohio State.
Yeah, it certainly feels like he's fallen out of that top tier of wide receivers, so I would be surprised.
Next one, Jared Wilson, Georgia center.
Yeah, I haven't heard his name a ton in the back part of the first round. So, yeah, that I would say that would
I
be
haven't
surprising.
either. Would just be surprised. I think he's a day 2 guy.
Yeah.
And not a top tier day 2 guy.
All right, give me these last 2 quick.
All right, last 2 we got for you. Tyleik Williams, Ohio State defensive tackle. And the last one, Tyler Shuck, who we've talked a lot about.
Yeah. I mean, I think 3 quarterbacks go in the first round. I don't think any more than 3 get into the first round. When you get back on Monday, it is draft week. We'll get you ready for that. Whatever the latest is out of Suns land and how the Diamondbacks do on this road trip against the Chicago Cubs. Jim Rome is coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Friday. Talk to you on Monday. See ya.
AM 1060 KDUS